Like nothing was fucking working properly.
You don't sound great either.
Oh no, I'm a fucking mess. All right, let's see. Hold on.
Going outside, just like I like it.
Pretty big fish to fry. Pretty big fish to fry. My, pretty big fish to fry. Pretty big fish to fry. My. Last weekend I barely thought I'd make it out alive. Told myself I'd take time and give some more a try. I was alive. My.
It is Friday, January the 5th. If you are checking us out, it's Lone Outside, loneoutside.com. Thank you for taking the time, everybody. We talk sports. Tonight, we are primarily from New Jersey. We may get some Nation's Capital checking in. We thank you very much for giving us a listen. Before we do anything, we like to start off with what we're drinking. So let's try that tonight.
Why don't you go back home to your street malls and drink your Zimas and Smirnoff Ices? Oh yeah! The greatest beer in all the world!
Somebody from the bar.
Yeah, I like cool beverage, yeah. I like cool beverage, yeah. I like cool beverage, yeah. Cause I'm feeling kind of parched. Stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge.
So tonight, it's a little deviation from me. We are not sticking this in the fridge. I was in the fridge all day long in this Snowmageddon, whatever the fucking term is that they're using for this one.
Bomb cyclone.
Bomb cyclone. We got hit hard at the Jersey Shore today. I was shoveling a foot of snow off my porch and about 3 feet of snow off my driveway and 0 snow on my car. So the snow drifts were out of control. So tonight I am making a departure from our beer. As you can hear, my voice is still a little under the weather. I am rocking a hot toddy tonight, gentlemen. I got a little bit of Old Number 7 in a glass with a little bit of tea and some honey and some lemon. So here's to you. Brett in Denville, what do you got?
In Philadelphia, on location.
Solid.
Oh, whoa.
Unlike some members of our podcast, I can podcast on location. I'm okay.
Nice. Yeah. Taking shots.
So it turns out that about 4 miles down the road from me here in, I guess in West Philadelphia, is a little a little brewery by the name of Tired Hands, and they really do fantastic work. Some really great stuff. So yesterday, early evening, I stopped over there. I got myself a growler called Hop Hands.
Hop
Hands. They're Hop Hands. They're pale ale. They do a fantastic series called Milkshake IPA, and they do all sorts of variants of that. It's supposed to be a very hot beer in the beer community. But this is good. This is a nice little pale ale, so it's enjoyable. And I love the hot toddies, dude.
Yeah. It's working out nicely. I may have to bail on you in a little while and go get another one though.
Nice.
Nikki, what do you got?
I got a new one. I picked up Avery Brewing Company Out of Bounds Stout. Ever hear of it?
I've heard of Avery. Yeah.
Out of Bounds Stout.
I haven't had that one, Brett. Have you had that?
Yeah.
Stout?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Little hops in the beginning, but it finishes kind of like with a smoky charcoal taste. But great beer for the winter.
Nice. Joining us from our nation's capital.
Yeah.
With ABC on the wall.
Yeah, fuck off.
It's in the playroom.
What's up, jerk-offs?
How are you?
So I just want to tell you, I listened, Jeff, to last week's podcast, heard what you were drinking.
Yeah.
Played your description to my wife, who worked in the industry for 10 years, and she said, the description of that beer made me throw up in my mouth. So if you didn't like it, it sounds like there was good reason to not like it.
It
wasn't blueberry or blackberry.
It wasn't terrible, but I also like a little bit of funk.
She was confused as to why a saison would have would be a porter. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good. I can't recreate the moment.
I think you told the story wrong.
Yeah. Well, anyway, here's the story you're not going to like, and one that I hate because I hate all people who do this, and now I'm being forced to do it.
Oh boy.
Fucking dry January. Suck a D.
That's awful.
Swell
Why?
bottle.
Why?
Yeah. Probation is tough, huh?
That is just.
I think so. My wife's pregnant, having our third child in June, so I'm clearly fucked on that front.
Oh, congrats.
Hey, Mazel, thank you. Yeah, it's getting worse. Trust me, I had a little bout. A couple of weeks ago, and I think she was just tired of my holiday antics. I mean, I drank a lot. You should have seen the 31st. I had like 4 or 5 buddies over here. She's like, "So are you just trying to drink everything in the house before midnight?" Yeah. So I'm drinking water. Sorry. It's good to be back. I missed you guys.
I'm actually hoping that in about 2 minutes we're gonna get one of these.
Not so fast, Pat.
And like a Miller Lite's just gonna come out from behind.
I wish. I'm not. I respect my wife.
Worst. All right. Well, here's the deal. Tonight, we usually lead off with a little bit of who cares, but tonight we're gonna throw it back to our roots because
who cares?
We got breaking news that Brett wants to break, so we'll go this way.
Good evening, everybody. And despite the fact that I have just knocked a cup of coffee in my lap and a suit that's just out of the cleaners, it's great to be home.
And his first pitch to D. Gordon is almost on the kneecaps for ball one. D just did get out of the way.
It's the first pitch.
Well, I know you're excited about this one, Brett, so why don't you break the news here on the...
I actually don't consider myself excited about this. I'm probably one of the people that's bummed about it, but, Nikki, I think you said you wanted to take off your pants and listen to this, so get ready. But it appears tomorrow, according to a man named Bruce Allen on Twitter, @BruceAllen.
So if you're listening tomorrow, it's today.
Yes.
Right.
Today. It appears today, Friday, right. January 5th.
Right.
ESPN will drop a hit piece on the New England Patriots and a rift between Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and Robert Kraft. The topic appears to be the power struggle amongst the trio as to who deserves the most credit for the dynasty. The article claims, and this is according to Allen, that the rift is so severe, many Patriots feel this is the last year together for the trio. Also, that Brady went to Kraft to force Belichick to trade Jimmy and Garoppolo. ESPN is planning full day of promotion tomorrow for the article and its author, Seth Wickersham, @SethWickersham.
Wait, I'm sorry. Why is this not in Who Cares?
Because you know what this means, right?
Because it means it's over. It means it's over.
No, well, not necessarily.
No,
it means I need to hop on that future bet of the fucking Pats making the Super Bowl because they're guaranteed to win it now.
I was going to say that it means that you will not hear who the next coach for the New York Football Giants is until after the Super Bowl.
Ooh, HC of the NYG.
I mean, I would not be upset about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Because that's what it means. It means he's much like Carmelo before him. He's coming home.
Wow.
Yeah, but he'll resign on a napkin.
which would be nice.
He's not coming to the Jets. He's coming to the Giants.
You know what? I really wasn't thinking about that angle, but now you got me salivating here.
What if he goes, takes the Giants to the Super Bowl next year? Brady has one last run in him. Brady makes it to the Super Bowl. Belichick with Eli beats Brady in the Super Bowl for a third time, forces Brady into retirement.
Oh, I think then Brady doesn't go to the Hall of Fame.
Then he's out.
It was all Belichick. It was never Brady.
Hey.
So tell me what is the idea behind this that Brady and Belichick are at odds?
I would assume so. Probably that's probably the root of it, which would probably end in Belichick just leaving, right?
But this is coming from Bruce Allen.
Yeah, man. I don't even know who Bruce Allen is.
Yeah, he's the president. He's the team president of the Skins.
Okay. What is that?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that
A
him
former,
that
a
his
former
name on
president.
Twitter?
Like he's not the current president, right? He's a former president of the Skins.
No, he's still involved with the Skins.
Then it's got to
Yeah,
be a
but-
different guy.
It's very similar name.
It's his Twitter. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Oh no, it's not. It's some other.
No way.
It's some. I was gonna say, why would Bruce Allen be dropping that shit?
Yeah, that doesn't.
Johnson dropping knowledge about the Patriots.
Who is this guy? You got to look at Bruce Allen. This Bruce Allen's Twitter page. It's a fucking joke.
So you have it on good authority that tomorrow this story drops. That
I have it from a man with a blue check mark on Twitter.
that means he's verified.
That's fair.
That's official.
So I'm just saying, you say, however you want to feel about it. I thought it would make you happy, Jeff. I thought you would be glowing. But
No,
I guess
I think it's nonsense. I think typical. I just first of all, let's dissect it, right? Let's unwrap it for a second there. So there's problems between Belichick and Brady. Okay. How can Tom Brady make Bill Belichick trade any player? If anything, history proves that he would have turned around and flipped Brady.
I think you're right about that. I think history probably would have said rather get rid of somebody a year too early than a year too late, right?
So I don't think that there's any truth to that at all. But the interesting aspect of it would be if Belichick does bail and just goes to the Giants and then takes that number 2 pick and gets a quarterback, ships Eli off to Jacksonville and tries to redo the entire thing in New York. That's appealing to me. I think it's got to be appealing to him too. If he's done, if he's really worn out his welcome there. The problem with that is I think who did they just hire? Gettleman? I don't know that would Gettleman and Belichick jive. I have no idea.
Here's the best part. Belichick already declined to address the details of the report, basically saying, "Yeah, there's another one with no sources." Right? I mean,
is it right? Is it factual? Is it not factual? I don't know. But I know that ESPN putting their name behind it, if in fact they do tomorrow, they're not just out there to kind of what's that word we use in society today? Spread fake news.
Clickbait.
Yeah, clickbait and fake news. It's not, that's not typically what they do when they publish. Some of those guys jump the gun, like Schefter will jump the gun on a trade here or there or a signing, but it's not like the company itself throws out these things without any substance behind it.
Do you have any reason that you think you should be worried?
Worried? No. I mean, it was
oh, bravo. Who cares?
All right, let's move the hell on from that.
Thank you.
If I was wearing a hat, I would tip it.
That was like watching a Logan Paul Twitter video about a Japanese suicide forest.
I legitimately
not that bad.
had to Google who that guy was, by the way.
It's a joke. Who cares who that fucking clown
Still
is?
don't know who he is.
Yeah, whatever.
He's nobody.
He's like us.
Yeah. He's actually probably better off than we are. I'm not gonna lie. All right, take it. Whoever put these on, take them.
Oh, wait, what are they? All right. So
TV ratings are down.
Yeah.
9.7%.
Come on. Hang on.
I found this was interesting because they said it was down 9.7% this season compared to last season, but didn't really want to discuss the fact that last season was down 8% from the year before, which they kind of were like, yeah, it was just presidential campaign stuff.
Yeah, hold on. Isn't they don't incorporate the Red Zone channel viewers, right? That doesn't go into the ratings. Am I mistaken by that?
That I do not know because that's.
I'm pretty sure I read an article that said that they don't count the Red Zone channel viewers, and that's most of America. Like that's me. Sorry.
Yeah, but even still, do you think 9.7% of the audience in the off season just said, "I'm not going to watch games anymore. I'm just going to watch the Red Zone"?
Yeah, why not?
Here's why I don't think that that's the case, because the Red Zone. I could be wrong on this too, but the Red Zone is primarily a direct TV vehicle, isn't it?
No.
Cable has it. Optimum has it.
Here's the thing about Red Zone I never really bought into until this year. This is the first year I bought it. I always went to the bar to watch the Giants games, and since I really wasn't allowed to do that this year, I just figured, all right, I'll watch the Red Zone and I'll see all the scoring plays. And then I tried watching the games when they were playing the Redskins. I couldn't deal with the commercials and all the replays and all the bullshit. I mean, it's literally 8 hours of football. No commercials, just the plays that score, entertaining shit. It's like, oh, I'm catching everything.
Right. So like that's like one of those things where once you try it, you can't go back.
It's like cocaine. I mean gambling. Love you, babe.
Hey, babe. Miss you. Thinking about you.
I just don't know. Like, so you're attributing the drop in ratings of nearly 20% over 2 years to being because of the existence of the Red Zone.
Wait, were there 2 years that what happened last year?
Last year was down 8% from the year before.
Well, also
this year,
and this year was 9.7.
So that was consecutive years.
Yeah.
But also, there's a lot more streaming services. I don't know
back
if
to
people are
back.
watching
And the
stuff
belly to belly. Fucking assholes.
Sorry.
the streaming services, Amazon, YouTube, all that stuff that they stream live games. I'm not sure if they count that either. That could be a factor too, because people are saying, screw cable TV. I'm not going to pay all this money a month to get, to watch 4 channels a month.
Let's just cut to the chase. Here's what happened, okay? The middle of this country voted for Trump, okay? And the middle of this country also does not want to tune in every week and watch these guys and put their hands up in the air.
I don't buy that
protesting bullshit. And so I have a feeling that has something to do with it.
I don't buy it.
Not so fast, Pat Sajak.
When did this turn political? I don't.
What do you mean?
No, I think it's a valid concern, David. I think you're right.
I'm not concerned.
No, I mean concerned in the fact of what the problem was in here. I think you're right, but I don't think it's all 9.7%. Like I maybe that's 4%.
Okay, but I'm just saying there's a substantial chunk of people who probably said fuck this.
Sure.
That's the reason why Vince McMahon is going to start a professional football league.
You're fired.
I don't know. I just look. The bottom line is, the big push forever that I obviously don't buy into because I have season tickets was, the product is so good on TV, you shouldn't go in person. And now, apparently, the product on TV is taking a bath. So I don't know. I heard today that one of the thoughts are that, both CBS and Fox break into games and let's show you a touchdown that happened 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that it happened 10 minutes ago. So
it's pretty funny.
Why is the coverage not advanced to show you stuff in real time?
It's pretty funny when you're watching Red Zone, Jeff, and you're like, they're like, you've seen that score like 5 minutes ago, and then they're showing you a game, and they're like, let's Deborah in LA, and it's like, and then Red Zone just says, these guys are idiots, and they change to another game.
Right.
So I don't know. It's in Who Cares for a reason.
Who manages the Red Zone? Like, who is that run by? Is that run by NFL Network?
God.
NFL Network.
It is.
It's managed by Scott Hansen.
No, it's not.
Andrew Siciliano.
Who cares?
It's run by the guy who's going to break the news tomorrow. That
fucking guy, Bizarro Bruce Allen.
Bruce Allen.
Is his Twitter handle @NotRedskins Bruce Allen? Dick.
Bruce Allen of the Redskins has just followed @not Bruce Allen on Instagram, so it's fine.
Sounds better than your voice.
It's all good.
Fucking Instagram beefcake.
Number 2, Gruden to the Raiders.
I got a problem with this one. So the problem I have with this one is a legitimate sports quib. How can you start giving a head coach ownership stake in a team? We're going to lose Jeff here. He's got to go get a hot toddy. I don't understand how you can allow. So is the ownership thing shot down or not?
I heard it was shot down.
It should be, if it's not.
I'm just concerned more so that the guy hasn't coached in a decade, and the Raiders are investing like their entire future into him, thinking that he's going to just be the savior. Like, how do you know he can still coach?
You're not a Raider fan. Why do you care?
I'm just saying. I just don't think it makes sense. I mean, you have a guy Jack Del Rio that took them to the playoffs last year, and all of a sudden he has a bad year, and you just can him. I don't understand this constant regurgitation of coaches in the league.
And yet Hugh Jackson and fucking Marvin Lewis get re-upped.
I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
You know, everybody runs a team differently, I suppose, and they got different criteria or different things going on. I mean, I don't see how a guy like Hugh Jackson, who's gone 131 in 3 seasons, how is that guy allowed back? And yet Jack Del Rio has one bad year in the last couple, and he's canned. And you're going to go for Gruden? I mean, like, you're right. He hasn't coached in a long time. I mean, listen, ultimately I don't give a shit, and that's why it's in Who Cares. But Jeff's not here to hit the button, so we can't move on. So now we have to talk about this. Who cares? What's better? UCF goes undefeated and will hang a national championship banner. I saw this. This is preposterous. This is participation millennial trophy written all over it.
I like when you read it, like you read these out loud and then you read them for like you're like reading them for the first time.
I am.
UCF goes undefeated and will hang a national championship. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
A bunch of idiots.
Well, don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. Why would you do that? You didn't win the national championship. So.
What kind of social media vitriol are they bringing upon themselves right now by doing this?
Tomorrow, Dave, I'm going to the trophy shop and I'm getting New Jersey's best dentist on a trophy for myself. And
my God, you're such a terrible dentist. That time you gave me a root canal in the parking lot of Brendan Byrne.
I've got all right, can we talk about that real quickly?
That guy died.
R.I.P. Brendan Byrne.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We'll get the stars to show up.
You already moved on as I went to get my second.
Freaking is like chai tea or something.
We had to move on from John Gruden because the conversation is just preposterous. The guy doesn't. It's just a joke. So we moved to UCF, which also is a joke because I get it. They're 13-0. Great, good for them. You didn't win the national championship. I'm sorry.
They didn't lose it though.
But they didn't win it.
Right. They did beat Auburn though. That's pretty impressive.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think that I agree with you. Beating Auburn for them is amazing.
We had some moron that went to Seton Hall with us who used to go around going, our football team's undefeated. We're like, we don't have a football team. Like you're a clown.
Oh, one of those guys.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't make any sense why you would get a banner that says national champions. You want to get a banner that says you're undefeated. I have no problem with that.
Oh yeah, fine. 13-0 conference champ, undefeated season. Fine. All good. Whatever. But you're not, listen, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. That's a different discussion, right? About how these teams, and we kind of talked about it in our little offline thread, but that conference, the American Conference, is never going to have anybody ever considered based on strength of schedule. Ever.
But if you expand the playoff, they would be in, I think. No?
They were ranked 12th.
The whole thing's a joke. You should extend it to at least your top, 15 teams are in. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's a different discussion for another day. These clowns shouldn't put a fucking national championship banner up. They're going to get embarrassed by. It's just an embarrassing move. If I'm an alumni of that school, I'm embarrassed.
But did you know that I think it was like a team that Greg Buttle was on in Penn State. I heard this today. They went undefeated, didn't play for the national championship, and Joe Paterno got them all national championship rings.
Well, Joe Paterno also never mind.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what Joe Paterno did.
That guy's a douche.
Mike Tyson's opening a pot restaurant, pot resort.
Pot resort?
Pot resort. A pot
resort. Like a
hold on, what the hell?
Like one of those places where you go and you just like a fondue pot place where you just like stick the meat under the cheese and it cooks.
Yeah, all different types
of foods infused with pot.
I guess the real question here: are the pigeons going to be relocated from Bernardsville to the resort?
That's actually all that you eat there at the resort. Yeah,
it's a delicacy. This is fucking stupid. Who cares? This is a joke.
It's not. He's actually doing it. But okay.
Okay, great.
Who cares?
Rich Rodriguez. Now, when this came out, this made a lot of sense for why Arizona didn't prepare for the game and didn't cover my spread.
That's probably why, yeah.
That's exactly why. The guy was too focused on not sexually harassing people, but cheating on his wife.
At least he admitted to the second one.
I mean, good on you. Listen, hey, Because I guess in today's society, it's more acceptable to cheat on your wife than be accused of sexual harassment of multiple people.
Sadly, you're right about that.
Pick your poison.
That's I'll take the lesser of the two evils, please. I cheated on my wife.
Yep.
But like one doesn't lead to the other.
I think the behaviors are kind of intertwined.
Correlation does not equal causation.
They're not. They're not.
How are they not intertwined? You mean you're not some kind of?
There are plenty of people that in this world that are sexual harassers that aren't even married.
Yeah, but let's talk about the sexual
Hold on.
harassment of a married.
Bottom line is you're a fucking douchebag either way.
Thank you. Hold on. You're a married man. You're creeping. You're throwing the line out there. You're throwing the line out, and you're reeling them in. And then, oh, I got one. I got one. Next thing you know, I'm sleeping with some chick. Okay.
I don't know what that meant, but
I'm not sure either. But
No, but what I don't understand is these football coaches supposedly spend like their whole lives in their coaches' offices preparing and stuff.
yeah, who's in there with them?
And they have like their own families at home. Like, how do you have time for like a mistress? I don't understand.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
Didn't like Rick Pitino get jacked off in like a Denny's or something? Like
Denny's,
Applebee's.
Yeah, Applebee's. Yeah, so like that's where you find the time.
Oh, that's what the ranch sauce was.
Yeah.
2 for $20.
Stupid. Rich Rodriguez, such an asshole. That guy is such an asshole. I mean, how many assholes are on this ship?
How many assholes did he do?
Surrounded by assholes.
Who cares? I don't know. Turn around your basement.
Hey now.
Not you, Jeff.
So 18 years ago today, to go back to where we started tonight, Bill Belichick resigned as the HC of the NYJ on a napkin. And there was absolutely 18 years ago, some jerk off that called the fan and was like, dude, it was bad in Cleveland. We don't even need that bum.
Bob Kelly called?
Yeah, he did. Much thinner Bob Kelly.
The funniest part about that was Belichick and Saban were on the same staff together. Like the two greatest football coaches like in today's day and age were on the same team at one point. It's crazy.
Saban was great in Miami. I think he should go back.
No.
Shut up.
Saban shouldn't be coaching pro football because he treats people like pieces of shit, and those guys would just punch him in the face.
I think Rich Rodriguez would be a great NFL head coach.
Oh,
Giants.
He'd be arrested within 3 weeks of training camp. I mean, it would be a disaster.
I don't know. Whatever. We'll see.
Who cares?
So now we're getting to the portion of the program where we're supposed to lean on Yampo to have the lines for this weekend's game.
I'm glad you did.
They're all like between 6 and 8.
You know what? There's some lines that are so. Listen, here's some things. There's 4 games this weekend, and the only one that I feel any kind of comfort with line wise is Jacksonville.
Miss you. Thinking about how about me going to a meeting?
Speaking of lines.
That's so loud.
It's such a long one.
God, that was a long line. Not that I'm just not that I would know.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
You look at these games and we can rattle them off real quick. Tennessee is probably the worst playoff team of the bunch. I mean, the AFC playoff teams are dog shit.
Yeah, they're kind of trash.
They're kind of dog shit. And I think that at first glance, you would think that the Buffalo Bills were the worst team on the AFC side, but I would argue that the Tennessee Titans are the worst team in there. You take a look at who they've beaten and how many points they've scored over the last several weeks. It's not a lot. However, 9 points, 8.5, 9 points, I think is the line.
9 times.
That's a lot. It's just enough to keep you you want to tease that one down a couple points. You want to get that down to 6.5. I think ultimately Kansas City probably wins this game 27-10 or something like that. But Kansas City, what Kansas City team is going to show up? I don't think Tennessee has a chance. I think Kansas City money line is probably your best bet if you really want to get on this game. But I'm staying away from it.
Really, really difficult place to play. Really difficult place to play, Kansas City.
Yeah, it's just a matter of is Andy Reid going to Andy Reid himself? It's going to happen at some point.
Wild card weekend, no.
It's going to happen at some point. When is it going to happen?
The next round.
Okay. The afternoon game, intriguing. Atlanta goes to LA. Okay. LA is 6.5-point favorites, I think.
A lot of points.
That's a lot.
A lot.
Atlanta's a proven entity, in my opinion. Okay. And LA could be like, hey, we're in the playoffs. Cool. It's going to take us 3 quarters to figure out what the fuck we're doing and get our footing and wake the fuck up.
I'd jump on that line. I'd take the Rams.
Really?
Yep.
That's why you're not a gambler. That's a dangerous one.
I think they have the ability to absolutely kick the shit out of the Falcons.
Well, I think we saw that they, over the course of the season, they can surprise you. And I mean, who saw them going to Seattle and thumping the Seahawks?
Well, nobody until we learned Seattle wasn't very good.
Okay, well, I think Atlanta is one of those weird teams like, the Super Bowl hangover. Fuck that. That's garbage. I think, Devonta Freeman, since the concussion, hasn't been the same. Julio did his 200-plus yard game like he does every year. Matt Ryan's been a little off this year. I think their defense is pretty good. I think their front seven is legit. And their only opportunity here is to slow down Gurley. If you could slow down Gurley and put this game solely on Jared Goff, I think they got a chance to win it. That's going to be a good game. But again, that line is just too big for me. 6.5 points too big.
That's a lot of points. It's a lot of points for a team that is completely out of the blue, right? I mean,
right, exactly.
Nobody thought the Rams were going to do what they did this year. Nobody.
Right, they're playing with house money. Now, we saw what happened when the Yankees played with house money. But
they went out and got the National League most valuable player.
Yeah. Those are the Saturday games. Sunday games, I think you got one that you want to probably put some money on. It's a big line. Buffalo is plus 9.5 or 9, 8.5, something like that. I think Jacksonville just absolutely fucking curb stomps the Bills. The Bills are still celebrating in a locker room in Miami somewhere.
He's bouncing. You're bouncing back. Somebody's got you. We're here, and I don't know what the hell's going on. But did you hear that the Jags tweeted that they had extra seats because of the Bills? The Bills responded back on Twitter like, "Yeah, no, we'll take them. Like, it's not because of us. If you need help selling out your game, we'll."
That's pretty funny.
I don't know.
Well, they opened up top, Jacksonville. Stupidly, because you know how every home game for them, upper deck is tarped over.
Right.
So they opened it up. So it's kind of on them because they overestimated the amount of people that would give a shit about wild card weekend.
I don't know, man. You go out and you have a year like you had this year. You should be able to sell out a fucking football stadium. I mean, you
definitely should. You're 100% right. But it's just like there has never been a passion for football down in Jacksonville.
Was there a passion for anything in Jacksonville?
Not that I could think of.
Tim Tebow.
What's with the feedback?
I don't know. I got nothing. It's not me.
I'm furious.
Furious.
All right. So anyway, I would take Jacksonville.
I think I would too.
Buffalo stinks.
McCoy might even play.
Buffalo got blown out by the Jets. I can't pick any team that got blown out by the Jets to do anything.
I mean, their only good win was when they went to Kansas City and won, and that was like a 16-10. That was a very Buffalo game.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been lucky winning the 2-point conversion and the fucking snowball and winning that game. I mean, they've been lucky. Their luck's going to run out. I think they're the wonky team in the playoffs this year.
I think that's probably fair.
And then you got New Orleans hosting Carolina. Division matchups. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. We've seen that with the Giants and the Cowboys a couple times. Which Carolina team's going to show up? Here's the problem. Carolina has no receivers. They got 0 receivers. And I think Drew Brees is just like, this is my last run at this. Carolina hung 34 and 31 points this year on Carolina.
You got to say that again because you said Carolina hung 34 on Carolina.
Yeah, I know. After I finished, I just wanted to see if you were listening. New Orleans hung 34 and 31 on Carolina.
Okay.
If this game was in Carolina, I maybe feel a little bit differently about it, but I don't see how they win.
What's the line?
It's like 9, 8, 9. All these lines are like 8, 9. I think 6.5 is the lowest, and that's Atlanta and LA.
Carolina's getting 9?
Yeah.
That's a huge freaking number.
I know, but they've gotten throttled by these guys twice.
Which means they're due for a win, right, Jeff?
Well, the law of averages.
Tough. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, man.
It is, but at I just
Mark Sanchez knows.
The Sanchez.
Maybe he'll come out and play this week. I don't know.
I don't know. I think next week's games are going to be a lot better. Let's see. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 7 points. 7 points. And here's the funny thing.
Getting 7 on the road.
Yeah, they're getting 7 on the road, and all the money is with Carolina right now. Everyone's backing Carolina because Carolina's +7, -120.
I would take New Orleans.
And New Orleans is even money, -7.
I would take New Orleans. I think that Drew Brees and Sean Payton, I think everybody like wrote the end of that story. They were like, there's he's gonna fade away, and then they're gonna get rid of Payton and blah blah. And I still think that they're 2 of the best doing it today. Shake it up.
I'm just waiting for the fucking Eagles to be underdogs at home next week.
Could be.
What do you mean could be? They couldn't put any points up on Dallas.
Well, Dallas's defense is.
Oh, fuck off. Dallas didn't even fuck off. Nick Foles, they're so fucked.
Well, the interesting thing about the NFC is, though, like, if any one of those 6 teams makes it to the Super Bowl, no one's going to be like, oh, my God, I never saw that coming. Versus the AFC, it's like, if it's not New England or Pittsburgh, people are going to be like, what the fuck?
This is really shaping up to be Minnesota, New Orleans in Mini, with Minneapolis being the first team in God knows how long, or if ever, to be playing with an opportunity to play the Super Bowl at their home stadium.
And then they're going to get throttled.
Oh, that'd be so sad. How could you not like the Case Keenum story? That guy's going to get paid.
I just hope
by the Jets.
Yep.
By the Jets. I just hope it's not by the Jets.
Here's the best part. Can't the Browns are going to crush the Jets' dream by just drafting 2 quarterbacks. Why not just draft 2 quarterbacks? They have the 1st and the 4th pick.
Oh, that'd be so Brownsy.
But you know what? One of them's got to work then, right?
What's that?
Right, yeah, they'll take like Darnold because I sure should hope they take Darnold because that kid looked like fucking Turd Ferguson the other night.
Sure did.
So take Darnold, Giants take Rosen, and then they can take Baker.
Danny Cannell was saying draft Saquon Barkley 1, Baker Mayfield 4.
I would fucking kill somebody.
And then have him and Kaiser Soze have a fucking death match for the starting spot next year.
Why the hell would you draft Barkley first? I don't understand that. I don't understand the concept of drafting a running back.
I completely agree with you. I do. I completely.
Who said to do that?
But it's awesome. Like, that's so Browns. Like, the Browns would do that. So
many draft picks.
Yeah.
I mean, they had 3 picks in the first round last year. They got 2 in the top 5 this year. How are they 0-16?
I saw this article that talked about how they have a lot of resources invested into the offensive line, and their defense has some pieces. But it's like, how are they 0-16? It doesn't make any sense besides coaching.
Yeah, he's brought back.
What if this is all a big elaborate ruse?
Oh God, here it comes.
And Bill Belichick's going back to Cleveland.
That would be better. That would be a better play.
And after Nick Saban wins the championship, goes back to Cleveland with Belichick.
And then Cleveland's awesome for 30 years.
Oh God, it'd be so frustrating. They would just be the Alabama feeder. Alabama would just feed Cleveland.
It'd be awesome. They'd wait till after the Super Bowl. Hugh Jackson be having some press conference, and they'd both walk into the stadium wearing NWO shirts.
Oh, what a mess.
Belichick just hits him over the head with a steel chair.
What a mess.
They recruit LeBron James to play tight end.
Boom. Oh, God. I know it's
Super Bowl.
I know it's my fault we got sideways on this whole draft tangent thing, but I think going back to the games that are on this weekend.
Out of the we got 8 teams playing this week, right? Who do you think out of the 8 teams playing this week has the best shot to win the title?
New Orleans.
Brett?
Yeah, New Orleans. I agree of the teams playing this weekend.
Nick?
Atlanta.
Ooh, interesting wrinkle. They'd have to do the entire thing on the road, wouldn't they, Atlanta?
Yeah, the Giants did it twice. Remember Yampo?
Oh, I remember. Brett, do you remember?
I don't remember the Giants.
Brett, did you wish David Tyree and Eli Manning a happy birthday the other day?
Oh no, was it the anniversary?
No, it's just they have the same birthday.
Oh,
Brett,
they have that special connection.
Awesome.
What would you do, Brett, if your boy went to the Giants and coached Eli in a Super Bowl against Brady, and that ended Brady's career, like who would you root for?
Are we going back to this? Didn't we? Is deja vu?
Who would you root for? Like, how would that like? Would your head legitimately explode? Would you want?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like when two black holes merge, just how bad everything
I've seen that here, though.
It's just racist.
What? Is it? What? I wasn't even thinking that.
I'm protesting this podcast.
You're sick.
Me too. Hashtag me too.
Oh.
Jeez, Jeff.
Yikes. You really went dark. No pun intended.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. College football.
You're out of content because you asked the same question twice.
I didn't ask that question the first time. So
where the hell's Sean?
Who cares? It's probably fucking hobnobbing Herbie. Oh, hey, look at me. I'm at the Winter Classic. Hey, cool, bro. I fucking worked there. I did like 3 of those. Chill out. Oh, look, we're at the party with JR. We're just, oh, cool. We're having Coors Lights and shut up.
And flipping us off.
Fucking loser.
This
All right, I'm done.
is the part of the podcast where we just let Yampo go for 15 minutes.
No, it's not. Let's talk about college football because there was some good college football game. That Oklahoma game was insane.
We like to call this portion of the podcast Sebastian, cover your ears. That's what we like to call this portion of the podcast.
If you listen to Guy Raz's podcast like that you got me listening to, Jeff.
That's good, right?
It's like the beginning when he's like, so there's some foul language. So if you're riding with kids, you might want to, earmuff it for a minute or two at around 22 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty much my brother every time he listens to this show.
Yeah, this is Jeff basically saying, if you're listening with children, you might want to not listen with children.
Now, I welcome all listeners. I think the more that children can be exposed to Yampo, the better.
I would agree. That's why I'm having another.
Good call. College football. Before we talk national championship game, give me your thoughts, Yampo, because you said you like these games. Give me the talk about the games that were just played, the 2 bowl games for the semifinals.
Well, I didn't watch. Is there still feedback, or is that just me?
No, it's still there. I think it's you, but it's okay. Keep going.
What? No, it's annoying as shit.
Yeah, well,
go away.
Too late. We're 45 minutes into the show.
You know what? Let's just shut it down. We'll start again, and we'll go recreate all this magic.
We're probably not going to do that.
All right.
9:15 start.
Yeah, I thought the Oklahoma-Georgia game was just a phenomenal football game. Like, if you had never watched football before and you grabbed somebody and sat down and said, "Here, watch this game," they'd be like, "Oh, this is amazing." Granted, I don't know what happened to the offensive play calling in the last 3 minutes for Oklahoma.
It was shit.
Like somebody else took over, and it just was a disaster. But I thought that game was an unbelievable football game. Hats off to Georgia for figuring a way to come back on that one. Baker Mayfield also not a very good pocket passer, that's for sure.
He's not a window thrower.
Window thrower.
No, he's like a bizarre Russell Wilson.
He's a snowblower.
Snowblower.
Snowblower. I'm sorry, my voice isn't even there. I can't even do the mic exhale.
I'm just salty as hell that Baker Mayfield's not playing Alabama because I think that the Georgia-Alabama game has so much less juice than if Oklahoma was playing.
Just because of his attitude?
Just because I just think, to me, in my opinion, SEC football, like in a national championship game, is it's a great game, but I just think it's kind of boring, to be honest.
Does that stuff really matter to people? Like, who cares? It's just a name. It's just a conference name.
No, I'm saying the 2 styles that they play. It's just pound the rock and just they're 2 great teams. But I'm just saying it would be a lot more exciting if Oklahoma was playing Alabama. I think.
Yeah, I mean, one of your big complaints earlier this year about Big 12 football in Oklahoma in general was that they have no defense, and that they, do you really want a national championship game where the loser hangs up 58 points, gets 58 points hung up on them?
Yes.
Okay.
Dave can take the over.
That's exactly right, Nick.
Yeah, I guess for those purposes, okay.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, college savings.
I just the part that bothered me about the bowl games. I hate college football overtime. I hate it, and I know that there's a contingent of people that are big college football fans that love it. It's so gimmicky to me that you're deciding one team that's going to play in the national championship, and they get to start with the ball in their territory and see what they can. Like, it's just, Like
we were
that much. Like it just bothers me.
We were talking about that, and I feel like for the playoff bowls and the championship bowl, they need to modify the overtime, like the NHL does, right? In the regular season, it's a 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3, and a shootout. But in the playoffs, it's a full 20-minute period, sudden death, right? And you keep going until it's over. And I just feel like it just would be better for the game and the results if it was just a full quarter and you kept playing if you had to.
But are we saying that because the majority of us are NFL guys?
I don't think so.
There's a huge college football contingent that when I spoke to over the last week, were like, I love college football overtime. Love it. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's off my lawn. Like maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. But
no, I have mixed emotions about it. I mean, I kind of like the thought process behind it. It's like, all right, you get the ball in the 25 or the 30 and you stop them if you want to win the game, right? Defense wins championships. But at the same time, I feel like it does a disservice to the rest of the game up until that point. It's just like we, especially for a game like that was such a phenomenal back and forth and a field position play, and just I don't know, it just kind of takes away from it. It's like, okay, here we go. Let's give these high-powered offenses short field. Like, did you really? I was surprised Georgia kicked the freaking field goal. I thought for sure that everyone was going to score touchdowns for the next 20 minutes.
Well, I was going to say the game short field, and then their offense just took a dump on the field.
It's crazy.
It was stupid.
So I don't know. I have mixed them. I would rather see the 2 playoff games and the championship have some kind of modified overtime.
So I was talking to a buddy of mine, who's a football coach, successful high school football coach in this state, won a couple of state titles. And I said to him, listen, you've got 3rd down. You got to get 2 yards. Like, why are they getting cute? Like, why are you not running the ball there between the tackles? Like, what are you doing? And he said, you know what? He goes, it goes both ways. He goes, and I've done it a couple of different ways. He goes, one time I've done the flashy play and it works, and then you're a hero. And next time you try it up the middle, it doesn't work, and you're a goat. So sometimes they outthink themselves, but sometimes, people are 2 or 3 steps ahead. You got to try something different. I don't know. To me, run the ball between the freaking tackles. It's 3rd down. Like, what are you doing?
I agree. I go back to my senior year of high school. We're when the state championship game, and all season long we had been wiping the floor with people and doing things. And all of a sudden, with like a minute to go or 2 minutes to go, the coach starts changing up who's on the kickoff team and how many, like putting all the best players on different things. It's crazy. He just started outthinking himself and start changing everything up. It's like we've done the same thing for 14 weeks. Why are you changing it in the last 2 minutes of the game? We end up losing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a bad call on their part, but there's nothing you can do about it now. My other question is, going into the national championship game, who do you got, Brett?
I mean, Bama. Roll Tide.
Yeah, no question.
I don't know, no question. I actually think it's going to be a good game. But I don't know why. I don't know. They don't win it every time, so whatever. But I just felt, that was everybody was angry that they got included in the first place, or not really everybody, but that was the storyline when the 4 were chosen. But I still think that they, to me, kind of passed the eye test as being the best team in the country. So I don't know whether or not that shakes out on that field at that particular day, but I take Bama.
Okay. Yeah, Bo?
This is a tough one. These guys don't play very often either. I think the last time they played was in 15. And before that was 07 and 08. And that's just basically the way that the SEC is set up, which I think is a disservice. But anyway, I'm going to take the dog here. I'm going to go with Georgia. I need to see something different. I know Clemson won last year, but I'm just fucking tired of Alabama.
I think that's fair, but I also think that's probably the same opinion everybody has of the Yankees, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Unless you're an Alabama guy, you're probably I don't know. I think they're the best team, though.
I think their defense, what the defense did to Clemson was silly.
Yeah, I can't see Nick Saban going into this particular national championship game and losing. I think that he's going to have his ducks in a row. Get ready to go back to Cleveland with Belichick. It's going to be sick.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. Do you think that there'll be any like unconventional stuff that turns the game on its side, or do you expect both teams to kind of show up and it will be a best man wins type of thing? Because a lot of games like this, they pull out some weird play or series out of their bag of tricks.
I think it's going to be SEC football. So I guess in that way, I would say that I err on the side of I don't expect much, trickery or
tomfoolery,
if you will. Pardon my language.
Ballyhoo.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that crazy, but so I don't know. I don't see much changing. I just see it being that type of game and a game you watch, every Saturday at 3:30 on CBS.
This is not Tennessee and Georgia. Okay, this is not Florida and Kentucky.
It's not.
This is Bama and Georgia. But what is SEC football, Brett? You said, "Oh, this is SEC football." Tell me, what is SEC football?
One word. Crock pot.
Classic.
Seriously, I'm starving.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Nick, who do you got? National.
I'll take Bama. I'll take Bama. I think that they'll win. And I've read something about freshman quarterbacks not doing very well in national title games. Georgia has a freshman quarterback. I just don't see it happening.
All right. Well, we'll see. Let's take it to the close, shall we?
Hang on, bartender. Give me one more of those scotch and Peptos. I got a case of squirts, but I still want to drink.
Last call.
All right. It's the end of the show tonight. So this is the opportunity for anything that we have not yet discussed that you would like to get off your chest or that you would like to talk about. I did see quickly, I'll mention this one, then I'll throw it to you, Nicky, that Ryan Shazier regained some feeling in his legs, which is always a good thing. So that's a positive thing to last call. Nick, you got anything?
Yeah, we're talking about Bill Belichick and possibly leaving the Patriots, and I don't necessarily buy it, but if it does happen, that where's he going to go if he wants to prove that he can win anywhere, right? Would he go to Cleveland? No. Would he go to the Giants? No. Where would he go? A place he loves, Rutgers University, and he takes Rutgers to the national championship playoff and takes our pride and takes it to a whole new level.
Nick, I will black out on Mad Dog 2020 on the show live the night Bill Belichick coaches his first game for Rutgers.
Do they make
that would be incredible.
Red Mad Dog?
Yeah, I'll drink red Mad Dog all night long.
Yeah, it definitely has to be red Mad Dog. That would be awesome. I would become a Rutgers fan. I would buy all Rutgers gear.
Of course I would. I buy season tickets with JP.
Totally. I would plug in everything. And I would just wear a shirt.
Man.
I wear a shirt under my jersey every week that just said on to and whatever the next game was. And at the end of
on to Illinois.
I would just take it off. That's what it would say. Keep chopping.
American hope. American hope.
God, I hope you're right. In so many ways, I hope you're right. Bubby, what do you got?
Is it safe to talk about now? R.I.P. Brendan Byrne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former governor of New Jersey, who I learned today that apparently the mafia itself called him too ethical to bribe, which I think is in a way that's a really nice backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
So that was a man whose name was I wasn't alive for the governorship of Mr. Byrne. Gubernatorial ship.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
of his term, but that was a man whose name was on the building of my hockey team growing up. They played at the Brendan Byrne Arena. So that name to me, even though it's not identifiable with politics, is very much identifiable with sports and where a lot of my amazing childhood memories with the Devils come from. So sad day for New Jerseyans, but it appears he was a pretty good man and did things well. So I wish him and his family the best.
The question is, Nick, are you too young to have ever stepped foot in the Brendan Byrne Arena?
Yes, the earliest arena I stepped foot in was Continental Airlines Arena.
Wow, that's sad. Well, I wonder what year they changed that. We should have a stat guy get on that, because I definitely remember going there when it was Brendan Byrne. It was Brendan Byrne for a long time.
Yeah, I would probably say to like the mid 90s, probably to like the first cup run, or like right after the first cup run, maybe. That's just a guess, though. I really don't know for sure.
In college football news, Notre Dame defensive coordinator Mike Elko is going to make $2 million to leave Notre Dame and go be the defensive coordinator at A&M under Jimbo Fisher. So that's a lateral move for $2 million. What do you think?
Pretty nice lateral.
And no income tax in Texas.
There you go. So not bad. Anything else, boys? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
No, you need to go to bed, Jeff.
Yeah, I actually feel fine, but I sound like this. So
Have yourself
NyQuil.
Have yourself another hot toddy and get to bed.
NyQuil and vodka is great.
That sounds awful, actually. But thank you, the listener, for taking the time to enjoy our banter tonight and listen to me struggle through as I get there. We do definitely appreciate it. So tell your friends, and until next time.
Desperandum, dear lady, across the desert lies the promised land. Goodbye, Mrs. Gloop. Adieu.
See ya.
Auf Wiedersehen. Gesundheit. Farewell.
Fare thee well to you, my own true love. River Mercy, fare thee well. I am bound for California, a place that I know right well. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that's grieving me, but my darling, when I think of thee.
That fucking Instagram beefcake.